Okay, Blue Sky people, we are doing a roundup here on this off-grid system. We've got 12 REC 245 panels, and we have 4 strings of 3 to build a 48-volt system. 3 of these panels will give us a 48-volt system, and then those strings are attached in parallel. That's all this business here. Ran to our combiner box. As you can see, the system is grounded, rails are grounded, and run to 1 point. The 4 strings run inside to our combiner box. This is our DC shutoff box with our 4 strings inside. Each one is individualized on a 15 amp breaker. Those combine. They run to our load center. This Midnightsolar load center. The load center has our DC shutoff for the battery shutoff. It has our charge controller shutoff. And a ground fault trip. This is the newest electrical device. More of a backup device than anything else. There's a lot of stops here. This lightning arrestor and these 4 breakers are what typically are in a system before they get to the load center. But this PV system runs through an extra ground fault, which is cool, being out here where lightning strikes and such. The rest of our battery house is finished off, yes, and our battery enclosure is also complete. Here is our 1 series, our 2nd series, total of 8 batteries, 8 12-volt batteries, 4 in series, and then the 2 sets of 4 in parallel. So we've got a 48-volt battery system. The Outback will work with a 24-volt system and a 48-volt battery bank. It will take offset currents, but ours is a 48 and a 48. The Outback you see here, this is a charge controller, the large Outback charge controller, and it's handling all these 12 panels by itself. So far so good as far as I can tell. It works well. It's quiet. The fan's kicked on a couple times that I've heard, but outside of that, it's doing its job. It's piped inside to another monitor that can program and read what functions are happening. As you see, 54.4 on a float charge right now. It works great. Midnightsolar is cool. There's a decent amount of room in there. Really, the main reason to use these specialty boxes is that they are built to accommodate these breakers. These breakers are not like breakers in your house. They are specialized for solar. So if you had another way to mount those in another box, which there is ways to do that, it'd probably be a lot less expensive. I mean, Midnightsolar's trick and everything, I think this box here was, I don't even want to get into how much all that business was, but it was a lot. I would say for what's happening in this box right here, probably $600. Alright, moving on to the inverter. The American-made Magnum Energy 4500 watt off-grid inverter. It can take an outside AC source to charge batteries for an on-grid type of setup, but ours is off-grid. We're going to go ahead and let the solar system charge these batteries. It seems to be doing fairly well in that way. You might be able to hear that? The buzzing. That there is the American inverter. We have heavy rodent traffic out here, so all of our little cords have to be in conduit. That's why we got this stealthy box. We're going to add a couple fans, 12-volt computer fans in here to get airflow. This is a flooded deep cycle battery. And then here, a solar ventilation fan will be added there. And this is going to be a passive solar building in the summertime. We'll get ventilation from this fan. In the wintertime, we might even close these holes up, the air entrances, so it stays nice and warm with our southern exposure window. And that's it, gang. That's a small off-grid solar system, but depending on what your needs are, say you were burning with wood, this is all the power a person would ever need. Installed this system retailed for right about $20,000 without the battery house. With the federal incentive, that should be closer to $14,000 after the tax breaks. But really, this is a 25, 35-year system. Some elements of it, the batteries, the inverter, will probably have to be swapped out at some point, but the solar panels are warranted for 25 years. Our ECs are made in Norway, a nice high-quality panel. But a very nice system. If someone were heating with wood and had limited air conditioning needs or no air conditioning needs, this would be a badass system. I'd roll with this one anytime. But peace and love to y'all. Thank you.